Hello, 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 everyone. My name is Tamar Smithers, Executive Director of the Virginia African American Cultural Center, located in Virginia Beach, serving all of Hampton Roads in the entire Commonwealth of Virginia. We are so thrilled and so excited that you have joined us for another installation of our virtual artist masterpiece series entitled Live Your Dreams, Not Your Reality. Our mission at the Virginia African American Cultural Center is to collect, preserve, interpret, inform, and celebrate Virginia's African American history, culture, and community, and to educate the public about African American contributions in all areas of endeavor. So we're talking arts and culture, healthcare, sports, medicine, all of that. Like I said, we're so thrilled that you've joined us. We have such an amazing guest joining us this evening in a limited amount of time. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest of the hour. Top Rope Zeus Campbell is an IMDb listed comedic actor, writer, director, voiceover artist, and influencer. A native of Norfolk, Virginia, his rise to fame began on YouTube in 2012 on his viral show, Hump Day Romance, where he uses his masculine bravado to give his personal comedic yet relatable takes on dating, relationships, and everyday situations. Zeus's performance on Hump Day Romance gained millions of views, which later caught the attention of such brands as Geico, Chipotle, McDonald's, BuzzFeeds, Pizza Hut, and Nick Cannon's Wildin' Out, who recruited him for their national commercial spots. Zeus's break into cinema came with being part of the 2019 Oscar-winning cast of the short film Skin, a series drama about a small supermarket in a blue-collar town where a Black man smiles at a white boy across the checkout aisle. This innocuous moment forces racial tensions to the breaking point and sends two gangs in a ruthless war. He can also be heard as the narrating voice on the investigation Discovery Channel's hit show Homicide City, demonstrating his vast theatrical range. Zeus Campbell's persona is adaptable to a myriad of roles, from refined corporate humor to dramatic noir. Despite his rapid growth and success, Zeus still finds time to come back to his alma mater, the Norfolk State University. Let's go ahead and give it for that. Behold the green and gold. He comes back to teach students about content creation and the motto he lives by: live your dreams, not your reality. Ladies and gentlemen, can we give a warm virtual round of applause for Zeus, top rope Zeus Campbell?
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much for that warm introduction. Thank you.
Absolutely. So excited that you're joining us. And before we continue, I have to make note of our sponsors. Of course, none of this would be possible without the generous support of the Virginia Beach Cultural Affairs Arts and Humanities Commission and Dominion Energy. So let's give it up for our sponsors for this particular program. Wonderful. All right. So, like I said, we have a limited amount of time and we have an amazing discussion to get through. So, what I want to do is go ahead and introduce everyone to who you are through your highlight reel. They'll see a little bit of commercial, some dramatic performances, and then we'll jump right into our conversation.
What point do I even have to still be here?
Come on, man. Come on.
Because everything that I had to live for is now gone. That was the day I died.
Pop, you here? Oh. I mean, if he didn't want me to throw up, he should have told me that was snails. I'm supposed to know what escargot is.
Roger that. Captain's waiting to give you a tour of the Wisconsin now.
Well, you came to the right man, darling. You got it? Yes, Corporal.
Whoa. I'm way too unstable for unscheduled movement.
If those two are the same and one can be used for play, then the other would too. Anybody can figure that out.
You are required under law to... here it goes. Shut the hell up.
Honey, the tub's overflowing. Fix it.
Yo, my father's in there. He can't talk, he can't move. You want to talk about you?
Awesome. You know, it's so funny. I was mentioning to you earlier, Zeus, that while we were going through the videos, I've seen that Geico commercial, I don't know how many times. And who would have known or who would have thought that I would one day meet the actor in the commercial? So that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. That commercial's been seen way more than I ever thought. That was like the first big commercial thing that I kind of ever did, and it just never left me. But I didn't have my beard, so I'm kind of like undercover a little bit. You know?
Right,
Right.
right. Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit more about yourself and your career journey. What inspired you to become an artist?
Um, you know what? I don't know if I was necessarily inspired, or maybe I guess I was. The way I kind of got into the first thing I got into was acting was through writing. Like the first thing I ever really acted in, I wrote. And
Mm,
that came from when I became a social worker at City of Norfolk, and
mm,
uh, it was not a job that I felt like God had for me, but I was wrong. He needed me to be there, and I did not like the
mm-hmm.
job at all. I liked what I did though. I liked the helping the people part. I liked that, but I wasn't aware that I was such a creative. And when you have a creative inside of a cubicle, yeah, sometimes that don't really mix. So
I know how that is.
right, exactly. So I ended up, I had like a bad breakup, not a bad breakup, but just a breakup that I cared about. And it's like, you going through that kind of grief type of spot. And I was like, well, I became more vocal about what I was going on. I just started talking like, man, this kind of happened like this. And I realized I was just telling a story. So
Mm,
that turned into one day, a friend of mine, she had an online women's magazine. Shout out to Stephanie Sutton. And she had an online women's magazine. And she said, Zeus, I came over her house for a party, and you know how people are drinking wine and people are talking about just relationships. And I started talking about
mm-hmm.
my situation. The whole room started cracking up, just telling them. She hits me up the next day, says, Zeus, you should do like a spot on my magazine, like just tell a story. And I said, okay, I'll do it. And I ended up doing that. I think the first video I did was like why women give bad Valentine's Day gifts or something like that. I was just trying to teach, I was like an analogy. It's like, I wouldn't give a woman power tools traditionally. So don't give me, so that
Right.
right, exactly. So yeah, that turned into me being at the job. And while I was in the job, I just started writing on a piece of paper the different people that I've dated and how some of them I let them do other things. Other people it wasn't that situation. It was kind of like everybody had their own like package. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like your car insurance. I was like, man, some people are covered to come over at night. Other people are not covered for public consumption. So I was like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
this is kind of interesting. So I ended up writing that, and that became like my first big video, which was it's called Stay in Your Lane Insurance.
Mm.
So that became like a hit. And I was working with a production company by the name of Viz Inc., Visual Incline from the 757. So shout out to them because they really like fostered and kind of gave me that. I didn't know anything about cameras and anything. So I learned a lot of stuff from watching them.
Right.
And then Stay in Your Lane, I became a partner with YouTube. Like the videos just kind of started taking off in like 2012, 2013. And I just never stopped.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think it's always interesting how people start out in their careers and the evolution of not only them as an artist, but as a person as well. So thank you for sharing, that sort of origin story, if you will. Let's dive a little bit deeper into your background with acting. Can you share with us what element of this art form most resonates with you? And why did you decide to add, actor to your title? I know you mentioned the social media success, and so what sort of encouraged or inspired you to take it to the next level, if you will?
Acting is the only thing that I kind of really feel like. I mean, I've you know I was good at a lot of different things in terms of creativity. I got a scholarship to go to Norfolk State University, playing the
Mhm.
drums, music, and I used to write music, and I used to step. So like all these different movements and dance and music, I've kind of always been around, but I just didn't know how to like really put it together.
Mhm.
And I feel like acting is a way for people like myself to turn our pain into purpose. You know, life experiences, and I can bend myself, you know, from the experiences. I can tap back in. You know, I'm from a single mother, you know, parent home, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, living with 8 other people, sometimes 500 square feet apartment. That's where I grew up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I love acting because it's the one job where you can really be yourself. You just got to learn how to do that. And
Yeah.
I didn't realize that I had a gift. I just didn't realize it. And I just started doing this, and people that didn't even know me, like from across the country and out of the country too. Because I've had videos reach the BBC, and
Wow.
reached out. Yeah, the BBC interviewed me for one of my episodes that I did. It was called it was a natural hair music video. And it was about, you know, it was about a guy, his girl chopped her hair off, didn't tell him. She just showed up one day, hair was cut off. And I just did that whole emotion of what that's like, this, you know, and that made like a big hair discussion. Like I was on, like my first videos when I first started off, I was received well by some, but some I wasn't. Listen, they had me on natural hair blogs talking about, look at this ignorant black man. He doesn't women in their hair. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, baby, what's happening?
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Now, show me the proof.
Right.
But that ended up being great for me because that conversation that is stirred up ended up getting me, you know, an interview with the BBC and out there. And I was like, man, that's really interesting. I like creating conversation with relatable topics. It's
right.
Relatability has to be there, you know?
Right.
And, with acting, it's funny. I went out to LA, you know, for 4.5 years, and I acted in different things like that. But to this day, the funnest things that I've ever done has been working on my projects, or, you know, with my friends and collaborating and doing these crazy ideas that I know Hollywood would never do. But
right.
A certain group of people, black, white, yellow, gay, all that, really enjoy something from the show. So I just love that I can be a chameleon. I can be water, I can be serious, or I can be silly, which are all facets of myself.
And you know, I love that as an actor. Myself, I always say, you know, I think being an actor is one job that gives you job security, right? So I can be an actor and actress until the day that I die, no matter what age I'm at. There is a role for me out there somewhere. And I think, to your point, the ability to be able to highlight different facets of yourself in the acting space is really, really a gift. So kudos to you on that. And I think, you know, being able to share yourself with others, and the fact that you said you got more joy from your own personal projects, I think speaks volumes as well, because it's your creativity. You're not bound to the guidelines or the restrictions of a script or, you know, particular things that you have to do. This is all about your creativity and what you decide to create. So I love that.
Absolutely.
Let's talk. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about your work ethic, because, you know, oftentimes people see the success, but they rarely see the work behind the scenes and the work behind the success. So tell us a little bit about that, and what's your process as you approach a role, or you're beginning to, you know, shoot a particular video on social media. What does that look like?
Well, I do a few different things. So the preparation for each thing is, some is similar and some are different. In terms of the work ethic, there's many different ways I can answer that question. One term of the work ethic is, you have to make sure until your dream takes off that you can pay the bills and you have something that's sustaining the dream.
Right.
So I've always, for the most part, had like a side gig, a side job, something that brings in the finances, so that I didn't have to have my dream pay the bills, because it puts a lot of pressure for you to get to where you're going quicker.
Right.
And, you know, and it doesn't always happen like that off the microwave success, even though that's what social media tells us. So I easily work 46 hours a week just in the side hustle alone. And then on top of that, do everything I got going on outside of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the work ethic with that. In terms of preparing, all right, I'll give you an example, like preparing for scripts and things, or for shoots. it can be tedious. I'm trying to shoot this Friday, right? The weather is not having it.
It's not all week. It's gonna be crazy.
It's not finding a camera crew, because here finding somebody that can shoot it with a particular quality and detail. Actors and actresses. The one thing I love about this area is we're so talented. The thing I hate about this area is we don't take it seriously. You see what I'm saying? Like we're waiting for somebody to find us or discover us, or we're waiting for like to be paid in order to start doing what we're doing. And if I would have thought like that, I never would do anything. I never would, they're talking to you guys.
Yeah.
So you gotta double down on your purpose and stop chasing the bag. The bag is gotta get good at what you do. I realized it was time when I first started acting, I was just playing around with it. And I would only practice acting when I had an audition. And wonder why I'm not getting anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You're not honing those skills.
Not honing it. I'm not doing it. I'm saying I'm doing it right, but you got to hear a lot of no's. And the reason it's two kinds of people for what I do. You have to have people that are either doing this because they love the destination that they're trying to get to, or you have somebody who really enjoys the journey. They enjoy walking. So a person that enjoys walking is always going to go further than the person who is just there for the destination.
Yeah.
I really love what I do. You know what I mean? Some parts about it, ain't the best, but other parts is like I really get to create a story and a narrative. And on a deeper level, images and video are very important to the world.
Yeah.
We got to remember back when silent films were going on, Black people were depicted as pickaninnies, big lips. Those were the images that people outside of the country, the rest of the world, the images they were seeing of Black and brown people. And so it really, really very much matter. Hollywood gives a certain image of things, but that's not the way the country, truly is all the time.
Right.
So I like the fact that there's independent filmmakers like myself who are putting out images, and we're in the community. We understand what it is because these kids, they're looking up to us, and they're getting their version of cool and being a man and being a woman and what's cool and what's not cool. They're getting their version from watching the influencers and people like ourselves on the phone. So the work ethic, you definitely have to be intentional. Don't let it stress you out, but also it's going to be a little work. But once you get it going, once you get the car, you got to push the car a little bit. But once that thing neutral, listen, it's a lot easier for sure.
It keeps rolling.
It keeps rolling.
Yeah. So talk to us about the social media space, right? How have you been able to make a name for yourself as an influencer? We talked about being an influencer. You do that. Talk to us about that.
Being an influencer has been a very up and down ghetto journey. The internet is very ghetto. It's all, but I like it because I feel like I've carved a space out for myself where I'm not like everybody else.
Yeah.
And I think it's really dope. I mean, the internet space is kind of like a scary space to be in, only if you're not comfortable with who you are.
That's true.
And that's a journey. So when I first started off on the internet, I was very, looking through comments and, what they say about, so that can sometimes be kind of new if you're a content creator on the internet. But you got to realize it, to be great or to be known to the world for anything, you have to show people who you are.
Yeah.
Period. Whether you're a content creator or whether you are a CEO or just whatever, you have to show people who you are. So that is something that I now balance. I keep it separate from my personal life. So the internet, you post what you got, your content, you create the content first, and then you schedule it to where people can see it on like basically like TV. I treat it like a TV network. Yeah. These are my slots, my advertisements going here. This is the programming for today. These are the time frames. After that, I do it and I go off and I enjoy another part of my life. So I would say with social media, don't let it run your life. And keep a good sense of humor about it. Like a lot of times just laughing at yourself or laughing at the situation can really, really keep us from these anxieties and things like that. These people They don't know you. Everybody's have an opinion. But I think opinion is good. If people don't like something that I create, I think that's fair, because once I put it out there, it's art. It's not mine no more. It's for you to interpret, and it might be for you.
Right. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? My experience that I'm talking about may not resonate with you. Just like, you know, I'm not a woman and I've never been pregnant before. So pregnant content may be superb content, but I may not be the demographic.
Gotcha.
So everything is not for everybody. So I stay in my lane. Because don't blend in. Don't blend in. I you know what I'm saying? I heard Nipsey Hussle say that one time, like, don't blend in, because you want to stay in your own lane and you want to remain original.
Right.
And don't be in a rush. What my man Tyler Perry said, he said, yo, it's beauty in being hidden. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the biggest content creator out right now. And I've been doing it for a while, but I can't lie to myself and say, hey, I've been going hard every single year. No, I had years. I kind of took some time off and developed as a person. Things like that. You know what I mean? And so, being hidden has allowed me to make mistakes, right? Like, when you hidden, you can make a mistake and say something, and now they're, you know, got blogs and everybody like, oh, on you, you know? You know what I'm saying? So, and then also you can get better at your skill set and build that audience up. So I've just been blessed to do that, because I've had success being in the limelight, you know, here and there. But I really enjoy when people like, yo, man, that thing you wrote, I felt it. I love that bit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something that God downloaded to us, you know, and we put it out there. I just think that's the best thing. So the internet is whatever you make it to be, man. It can be a tool. It's like a gun. It can be a tool for good, or it could be a tool for bad. How you going to use it?
However you want, however you're going to use it. So true. Well, I'm enjoying the conversation. We are going to bring Zeus back in just a few minutes. At this time, we want to take a moment just to give you all a brief peek into what the cultural center that will be located in Virginia Beach, serving the entire Commonwealth of Virginia, will look like. In this particular video, we have some community members, some elected officials that are speaking about the significance and the importance of this monumental project that we are doing here in Virginia Beach. So I want to go ahead and just show that, give you a little snippet of it, and then just give you a little bit more, and then we'll bring the conversation back.
I think it is very significant. It will be life-changing, because especially for our youth, especially as a repository for our elders, and to tell the history of African Americans, tell the unfiltered, engage in an unfiltered experience where we can have a safe place, community can gather, they can celebrate, they can learn more.
I'm in commercial real estate. I'm in my 36th year. And so I've seen a lot of buildings, a lot of cities, and I've seen a lot of museums around the world. And presentation and building appeal really sells. And this is about as good as I've ever seen. We talk about equity and inclusion and leveling the playing field. Well, that's a lot of talk. This is walking the walk.
The building and launching of the African American Cultural Center here in Virginia is going to be phenomenal as an opportunity for residents here in the city of Virginia Beach, but on a broader scale across the state of Virginia, to come and be a part of learning and reconnecting with the culture that is of the African diaspora. The community that it's going to be located in is an African American community, and it's going to create a catalyst for growth in that community beyond the actual the center itself.
They are ready for this African American Culture Center. Being able to see the artifacts, to hear the stories, to even see the images. I'm really proud that this is happening, and I am positive that this African American Culture Center will play a great and vital point in our education system.
The Virginia African American Cultural Center is a key priority of the Virginia Beach's Arts Plan 2030. It's our strategic plan for the arts and culture in Virginia Beach. Arts Plan 2030 was created in 2015 to ensure the forward expansion of opportunities in arts and culture, solidifying Virginia Beach's presence as a premier cultural destination. Building this space for African and African American programming, community gathering, and resources is critical to growing a truly inclusive city that welcomes and supports all visitors and citizens alike. Anytime that you engage with someone who looks differently, speaks differently, has different abilities, you grow better human beings.
The African American Cultural Center and the development of such a center is something that I think that is not only needed, but it's an important facet. We need to become more understanding and inclusive and active in. We need to all be active in learning what we can instead of assuming what we may not know.
I have an interest in getting to know our history. I think my peers right now have that interest, very strong interest in getting to know history. So I think that it's easier for us to be able to make it known for others. And I think we seek a way to go ahead and find that easy accessibility.
From where I sit on city council, the significance comes mostly as a place to bring our community together, particularly at the site where this one is, will be a great place to bring not just the African American community, but the entire community together.
I think that particularly in the state of Virginia, since we're the first state to have enslaved people come and live here, and our communities were built by African Americans, I think it's important for us to be able to understand our history and to be able to have it told by people who look like us.
This center will be a place for us to learn a bit more about who we are. This center will be a place for us to be, just to be a little bit more open-minded about what Virginia really stands for, in my opinion.
Awesome, awesome. So as you all can see, this is going to be a monumental project. I just want to make mention that we had some community members and elected officials that have transitioned to other roles across the city, but I thought it was very important to highlight the impact from the community right here in Virginia Beach that this cultural center will have across the Commonwealth of Virginia. We are so excited about our cultural center. One of the things that we want to ensure is that we establish programming just like this well in advance of us opening our doors, so that way we have that community investment, and that way we show everyone that we're making an impact before we even open our doors. So I want to just make mention of a couple of things that we're focusing on as we continue on our journey to opening, laying that strong foundation to ensure that we have the best capability possible to be able to open our cultural center. Also looking at launching our capital campaign later this year in early 2024. So stay tuned for more details on that. And as mentioned before, I'll mention again, more activity and more presence on our site that is located in Virginia Beach at 744 Hampshire Lane at the intersection of Newtown Road and Diamond Springs. It's very important for the community to see that there is forward momentum and movement and activity happening. So stay tuned for more info on that. And at this time, I'm going to bring Zeus back on, and I want him to set up the next video clip that we're going to see. I believe it is from the short film Skin. And so just give us a little bit of background context on that before we see that.
Right. Okay. The clip that you're about to see, the movie, the lead character, it's two lead characters, black and white guy. I'm just trying to make it very simple so you can understand. So black and white guy get into it at the grocery store. And what happens is the white gentleman and his friends end up jumping and beating this guy in front of his family. While his son and his wife is in the car, in the parking lot with the doors locked, watching their father, being beaten, all because he waved at the guy's white son. Just waved hello. So what happens is the black guy, he's now in the hospital, and what has happened is his friends, i.e., me and some of his friends, we actually set the guy up and we captured him. Now, what he did to the main character was, after they beat him up, they poured white milk all over him. So this scene is, we've just now captured, we got him, XYZ, and now we're about to retaliate what we're going to him. And yeah, that's probably all I need to say.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and show that. Before we do, just make mention that, this is acting for all of our young people out there. So these are not real activities happening. This is acting. But we wanted to just highlight this amazing piece of work that Zeus has been a part of. So let's go ahead and roll that film.
And his 8-year-old son watched the abduction.
Awesome. Round of applause, round of applause, round of applause. That is the short film Skin, correct? 2019 Oscar, was it Oscar nominated?
We actually won. We won for best live action short for the 2000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Academy Awards.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Another round of applause. Can we get a virtual round of applause, y'all, for that? That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Shout out to the director, Guy Natif. He was phenomenal, man. Him and his wife Jamie, and that everybody, that was like a real labor of love. We shot the whole film in I think like 4 days.
Wow.
And like I said, the director, man, he really had a strong vision. And yeah, it was just really, really powerful. I feel like what we did, we really kind of made something significant. And anybody who actually wants to watch the film, you can watch it for free. Fox actually bought the film, and you can watch it for free online if you type in Skin short film. And they also made, I think, an elongated version, like a featured version. But if you want to watch this version, which is amazing, check it out on YouTube for free. It's called Skin. And yeah, man, especially the ending. I don't want to tell the ending.
Yes, yes. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
A really, really good ending. So you should definitely check it.
Awesome. I'm gonna make sure I check that out tonight, later on tonight. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And congratulations again, Oscar winning short film. That's absolutely amazing. So yeah, you're welcome. So across your career, we know that you have had many successes as well as challenges. So what have been your biggest challenges and your biggest successes across your career?
Well, my biggest challenge for me happened, well, it's two. One of the biggest challenges is, or was, well, probably still is, one of the biggest challenge was believing I was good enough. You know, sometimes when you're not rooted in an environment of where you're going, you think you don't belong there. And I'm from Norfolk, Virginia, specifically Norview, and I come from, you know, I come from out the way. You know, I come from that type of energy, and I didn't know any actors. You know, I didn't know any people that did what I'm doing now. But man, now that I think about it, it's a real testament to how, you know, God will never lead you to what he won't, you know, walk you through. And so I appreciate that, because I wasn't, you know what I'm saying, that self-esteem in order to do great things. So getting out of my own way and believing I was good enough was a struggle, and something too every now and again I still battle with. The second thing was when I moved to LA in 2016, I was having a daughter, and I didn't find out till 2 weeks before I was about to move and leave.
Wow.
And that was a very big challenge, beginning fatherhood so unexpectedly, and trying to figure out how to navigate that and not and still go to my dreams, you know, because, you know, I was thinking maybe I should not go, you know what I mean? But the only reason I did was because I said, man, I can't be a hypocrite. And what I mean by that is, how can I tell my daughter or my son, at the time I didn't know which I was going to have, I have a girl though, tell her to live her dreams? How can I tell her to do things if I never did it myself?
Right.
A lot of time as parents, we give up on our dreams, and then we make our kid that vehicle what we should have did. Nah, you know, it's not too late. As long as you breathing.
Yeah. Woo.
As long as you breathing, it's not too late. So that my years out in LA, dealing with you know, a new child on the way, and I'm not able to be there at all. And then too, that financial pressure, because LA was very expensive to live in.
Yeah.
Born baby. So it's kind of like, how do I navigate? So, you know, I figured out the way to make it happen. It's been, I'd say the parent thing was probably one of the hardest challenges. And two, being away from home. I never lived anywhere else. I went to school in Norfolk State. I'm from Norfolk, so I never lived anywhere else. So being away from my mother, my family, you know, you start to feel like you don't even know your people no more, because not calling you, asking how you're doing. You know what I mean? So you feel real isolated. You know, I was depressed out there. You know, thank God, you know, I had like friends, frat brothers, my line brothers that came and visited me and let me know, hey brother, what you're doing, you know, it's a purpose for those things. So you know, that probably was the biggest challenge. And then I could throw finances in there too, because you got to finance these things. And internet, you know, sometimes not just the internet, when we're starting up things, they don't always yield return in the beginning. Most of the time, the things that are the biggest doesn't yield return in the beginning. Look at basketball players. They play basketball for a very long time. Football, very long time before they make any money. Comedians, they go on stage for a long time and give for free their gift before they make any money. So, you know, I had to realize that, understand that, and, you know, it gets easier as you go.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, when you think of the advice that you were given in your formative years, what is the best advice that you were given that you still live by today?
Hmm. Um, I've been given a lot of great advice. This particular piece of advice doesn't come from a person that I met, but I heard them say this on a video one time. Um, and the advice was, don't pick it up, don't lay it down.
Mm,
It's like, what does that mean? Well, don't pick it up, don't
right.
lay it down. Basically, when people say, don't fall into, when people say, hey, Zeus, you're the best actor to ever live. Oh my God, brother, you're amazing. You're amazing. Great. You know, a lot of times people say these things, and I think they come from a really good place, right? But a lot of times those things can go to our heads and produce a certain type of beast in our ego. And once you accept that, you also have to accept when something goes bad in your career, as things will, and they say,
Yeah.
you nothing, you're washed. Boo, you're terrible. You got to pick that up too.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the advice was don't pick it up, don't lay it down, meaning be who you are. You know, you don't have to fall drunk to the praise, and you also don't
Mm.
have to be disillusioned by, you know, the hate.
Yeah.
Just just focus on that. And that piece of advice came from Maya Angelou, with her
Mm.
class with Oprah.
Love it. Love
Yeah.
it. Well, you know, I just want to just engage our audience a little bit. We are so excited and thrilled that you've joined us this evening. We hope that you're still locked in with us. I know you are, because we're seeing the comments that are coming in. Continue to put the comments in there. We are going to have a Q&A session towards the end of our program this evening. So if you have a question, drop it in there and we'll make sure that that's answered during our Q&A session. Couple more questions and then we'll go to the next part in our program. So June is Black Music Month. Talk to us about how you use music, because we all use music, right? In some way or another, to prepare for a performance or something that you're doing.
Well, I use music a lot. I used to write music in high school, and I still do. So some of my episodes on my show, I've written original songs
Mm-hmm.
and made them kind of like relationship songs, and they have taken off and gone viral, you know, multiple times just in that music space. And so even if you're not like an artist that like, if you know, want to make an EP or album, I got friends who are making comedy song albums. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
recreating and redefining how to do music. You don't got to be, you know, have a record label, do all those things. In terms of, you know, Black music, man, I use music so much in my sketches and my episodes to tell the story. And a lot
Mm-hmm.
of times it's only funny because of where I'm putting the music and how I'm stopping it. So I'm very meticulous about that. I got a music scholarship at Norfolk State University. Like I said, shout out to the Spartan Legion. You know, those.
Yes.
I had a mentor who's a band director, Frankie Pollock. Shout out to that good brother, Frankie Pollock. He taught me how to read music in high school. And
Mm.
so that internal 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, that can be translated to cinema too.
Yeah.
So even if you're like, let's say you're my editor and I'm telling you exactly what to do, you know, of like where to put the music. And when I say, hey, can you play it for me? Like, great. I'm like, okay, it sounds perfect, but I can hear that it's a couple seconds off because
Yeah.
about the timing. I can feel that internal clock, tap, tap, tap. And that just comes from music and the love of it. So I
Mm.
think music is really, really powerful. When I move more into like writing my films and things like that, I'm definitely going to incorporate music. Even now with my show, like for example, independent artists locally, like you know, they say, hey, can I get my music in your show? Absolutely, you can. You see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Because we can't use
Yeah.
copyrighted music anyway. So I might as well
Right.
use a talented R&B artist or rapper, gospel, whomever, who they fit that niche. So I like it because it's the wild, wild west. You can make
Yeah.
your own rules if you have the vision. You can make your own rules.
Yeah.
I love working with my friends who they say, man, I'm not on the radio, or they're not put. Okay, well, let me hear that song. Oh, I think this might go well with this. Now, if this video is viral, now let's say, 10,000 people, 100,000, 1 million, whatever. Now these are people, 1 million people who are exposed to your sound.
Right.
So yeah, that's how
I love that.
For sure.
I love that. And I love that you provide a platform for emerging artists, right? Because, these are up and coming artists, and being able to have someone who has, elevated their career, be able to pull others up with them, I think is absolutely amazing. So shout out to you for that. Last question before we head to our next portion of the program. You entitled, because I asked you whether you wanted this to be titled, Live Your Dreams, Not Your Reality, which is the model that you live by. So why does that resonate with you? Tell us a little bit about that.
It resonated with me because, I come from, at the time, I felt like I came from nothing. You know what I mean? I came from nothing. The reality, for me, my reality was, hey, I'm from Norfolk, Virginia. There is no Hollywood here. There's no cameras. There's no none of that. I don't have any contacts. I don't know what I'm doing. That was my reality. And oftentimes our reality is visual limitations that we can't see ourselves past. And so the live your dream part came from, I was like, man, if I'm really gonna manifest myself into this space, then I gotta walk it. I gotta talk it. I gotta see it. I gotta live in that space. I am an actor. I am doing this. The dream is me. I am living it. You can't say I'm a singer, but but you're not singing every day. You're not dressed as a singer. You're not presenting yourself to the world as a singer. So once I started presenting and manifesting that, I realized where I've been has no bearings on where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? So that live your dreams, not your reality comes from that teacher that wants to get, become a professor or whatnot, or that basketball player, or that person wants to get their master's, but they don't have the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really a dreamer's brand that I actually turned into a clothing brand that is really for, like I said, the dreamers. It's that reminder, that whisper in our ear: live your dreams, not your reality. Don't focus on what's in front of you. Focus on where you're going. You know what I'm saying? Keep your head down, hands tight, feet tight.
Yeah.
And keeping that grit about you, because you got to have that dog in you to fight for your dream, because it is your right. And God made us with a purpose. So that live your dreams, man, not your reality, has resonated so much with me. And over the past few years, people have stopped me, to just say, what's that? What I like that, so it's more about, hey, who wants to be on this mission with me? Who wants to put on this jersey? What's your personal goal that you're trying to accomplish? What are your dreams, and what's your reality that you feel like you can't get out of? So
I love it. I love it. Live your dreams, not your reality. And one day your dreams will be your reality.
There you go.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Well, listen, we are enjoying the conversation. We're gonna bring you back in just a couple moments. At this time, we are going to bring to the virtual stage Mr. Kelvin Arthur, who is our board of directors. He serves as our treasurer. And he's going to talk to us a little bit on how you can support the Virginia African American Cultural Center and do a call to membership. So I will go ahead and introduce Kelvin. He'll talk a little bit about himself, and then he'll share some ways in which you can support us.
Good evening. Thank you, Tamar. And first, let me thank our featured guest this evening, artist, writer, creator, Norfolk native, proud Spartan, and what I learned also this evening, also Oscar winner, Mr. Zeus Campbell. I have absolutely been enjoying this conversation. Hope you have too. The Masterpiece series is one of my most favorite programs for the VAACC. We're telling stories, real stories about people who are living out their dreams, how they're doing it, how they are accomplishing things. These are Virginia's own stories and artists, and I'm so glad that we are able to showcase them and tell their stories. with the earliest Africans coming to Virginia in 1619, Virginia is filled with important, complicated, and oftentimes painful stories of Black achievement. And we want to continue telling those stories. So I invite you to join this journey with us. You can become a member of the Virginia African American Cultural Center as cheap as $25 membership, family of 4 for $100. Our next level of membership, our name memberships start at $150 for our VIPs. We want you to be connected, be on our mailing list. At that VIP level, you can get priority invitations to our events and shows. We want you to be a part of this journey with us. And if you have a business, there's corporate sponsorships that also start at the $1,000 level. I know our website is scrolling across the screen. You can go to our webpage and see the additional benefits for that. But really, this is a fantastic journey that we're on. As the video earlier showed you, our goal of building the cultural center here in the Lake Edward community, one of the historical African-American communities in Virginia Beach. So we want you to join this journey with us and be a supporter of the Virginia African-American Cultural Center. My time with you is almost up. I want to also share with you, golfers, we have the second annual African-American Cultural Center golf tournament that will be on July 20th at the Cypress Point Country Club. Last year, we had a tremendous turnout, about 60 golfers. And want to really give a shout out to our sponsors from last year, BDO, our cultural partner at Natural Botanical Gardens, Norfolk Botanical Gardens, excuse me, Dominion Energy, and our local banker, Town Bank. And was really, really happy for them. They were our luncheon sponsor last year, and a very big appreciation to Miss Yvonne Allman for coming and speaking with us during our tournament reception last year. So please, July 20th, get a team together. Come out. You can go to our website and register your team or sponsorship level. We'd love to have you there with us. Thank you so much. We hope you continue to enjoy the rest of the program this evening with our artist, Mr. Zeus Campbell. Thank you so much, Tamar.
Thank you, Kelvin. Awesome. Awesome. So yes, please support us in any way that your heart desires. Become a member. Join us on July 20th at our second annual golf tournament. I just want to shout out Town Bank again, because they are this year our education sponsor, as well as a couple of other sponsors in various levels. We have our culture sponsors this year, Cooper Hurley Injury Lawyers, as well as Dominion Energy again, and our community sponsors, Dr. James Bonds, who is our vice chair of the Virginia African American Cultural Center and the chair of the golf tournament, as well as William and Cynthia Calhoun and Wegmans. So once again, support us in any way that you can. Become a member at just $25 a year for an individual, $100 for a family of 4. We have various different business sponsorship levels. And please, please come out and join us for our tournament on July 20th. All right, so we're going to go ahead and keep the programming moving. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to highlight some of Zeus's social media presence. So we're going to show a couple of snippets from that, and then we'll bring him back to the conversation.
Yep.
Oh no, I'm good. This cart is fine. Oh, hey.
You got a whole cart, don't you?
Hey, no, I don't even have a whole cart.
Are you shopping for yourself on Father's Day?
No.
Where you at?
I was only gonna I didn't tell you where I was going because I was getting like a last minute Father's Day gift.
Really? Last minute? So you just found out about it?
Another gift.
Let me see.
Why would I show you the gift?
Because I don't believe.
Why wouldn't you believe me?
Because you lie like a rug.
Okay.
Let me see.
Okay, that's not yours. Okay, that's not yours. That's not yours.
I didn't heard 3 not yours is for a cart that's supposed to be mine.
This is what we was getting you, and now you ruined
What's
the surprise.
that? I don't want those.
Cause you said your feet be hurting, so we was gonna get you some Easies.
You got me some Air Easy, some Toby Nwigwe?
Okay, you don't like that?
No.
You said don't get them with ties.
No.
But now, what about this?
Now I'm the problem child. Now I'm selling bean pies. You know what? I quit. This is why fathers left in the 70s.
Oh, wow. What do you want?
Rude?
I am making a TikTok. You're interrupting it. What do you need?
You are too old for TikTok.
Your mama too old for TikTok.
Very mature, Rondell.
I know how to do the TikTok.
Talking about mothers now.
All you gotta do is the Macarena. That's all it is.
You look so washed. Ma, she's washed.
Oh, shoot. You with your mother? Why you say that? Hey, Mom.
Hey, baby girl.
Talking that stuff. Nah. Keep that energy. We on the way.
Wait, you about to bring her to the... You about to bring your mother to the house?
No, I'm about to bring her to the apartment. Yeah,
The house is not clean.
The house is clean.
No, the house is y'all kind of clean. Like, clean for y'all, but not mother-in-law clean. Are you dumb?
Clean is clean, baby.
How far are y'all away?
The driveway?
Oh.
Lord, now it's a fire drill.
Everybody, clean up that. Hey.
Calm down, girl.
Hey.
Jeez Louise.
Your grandmother is coming.
Now it's serious.
Hilarious. I have been in both of those situations.
Have you now?
Yeah, so I saw those and was absolutely cracking up because it is absolutely relatable on a personal level. Absolutely amazing. At this time, we also want to highlight some of your voiceover work. So I think we have a video of that, and then we'll jump back into our conversation.
You should know that people with HIV have more access to healthcare services than ever. You should know that testing is simple, fast, and confidential. You should know that 1 in 6 people with HIV don't know. You should know your status. Visit stophiv.com. I am not a college student. I have to be so much more. I can't meander to lectures. I can't stroll across any quads or hang around with the fraternities. The world expects a student to act a certain way. Well, the world can wait. I'll use that time to study. Everyone has the right to an education. Together, nothing will stand in our way. The University of Possible. When all eyes are on the court, we're focused on what matters most. Preparing college athletes for a lifetime of opportunity. After the buzzer, off the court, it's about education and working to earn a degree. Creating healthier campuses through groundbreaking research and policies. And a fair shot so dreams can stay on track. Marvel's Captain America Civil War Hero Year. What if you had to choose between a shield that fires back and armor that blasts? Your days are filled with people and business, and they should take priority. So, we've changed things. We're offering 2-hour appointment windows. So now you can make more time for the people you care about most. We should fit into your life, not the other way around.
Awesome. Multifaceted. I love it. Love it. So talk to us about, the creative aspects of the work. Oftentimes as artists, why is it so important to hone in on the business side of the industry, and strengthen our financial literacy?
That's a really good question, man. I learned this when I was out in LA after my 4.5 years of living out there. So I was out there in LA. I'm doing commercials. I'm doing content stuff. I'm working with BuzzFeed. I'm doing these amazing things, and I'm making money. But I'm also can't realize where's the money going. Going. And then I didn't know anything really about taxes like that.
Yep.
I wasn't that privy in that. And the more I'm like, I'm making more money. This is great. I didn't realize the more they take.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So before the pandemic actually dropped, it was top of 2020, and I was pretty much over LA. You know what I mean? Like especially with the pandemic, and I didn't know what was going on with it. I was just like, I really miss home. I really miss Virginia. And I kind of felt like, man, I'm making money, but like I said, where's the money? And I was like, I got a daughter. I was like, I just got to figure this out. So I went back home to Virginia, and I made a declaration with myself. I said, I have to be in control of my own financial literacy. I have to learn about LLCs. if I'm going to be a creator and I'm going to do these things for these people, I need to be a business. I'm a brand. You know what I mean? I'm like, everything I'm doing with these people, I was writing stuff for, for BuzzFeed, which was like this huge network. And I'm like, okay, if my content is reaching the masses and it's really hitting, then okay, I can do this, but I need to be the enterprise, because it's different when they're working with you on a personal level versus when you are a business and y'all are partnering.
Right.
So I went and created my own production company, Naughty by Norfolk Productions. And that's when I said, okay, if I'm going to do voice, if I'm going to do acting, if I'm going to have a clothing brand, all this needs to be legitimate business stuff. So for the past 3 years, I've really been on every YouTube I can find, meeting anyone who's a business owner that has some advice they wanted to share. I've just been soaking up game, and making sure like, hey, what, I got trademarks and things like that. How do I leverage those things? How do the big boys do it? How do I keep my money in my pocket? So for me, it's like, yeah, a lot of people are talented, but a lot of them are not going to be the business side because a lot of people don't want to navigate through that space. And I was like, well, no, it's literally, you can't, this will crumble. Like you see a lot of actors or artists in general who you like, man, they're super talented. What happened to all their money? They didn't know what to do with it.
Right.
They didn't know what to do with it. And so I stopped. I watched where I was spending my money. I said, listen, if I'm going to dress nice, I need to create a clothing brand, because I can't be here spending money to promote somebody else's brand that I don't even have stock in.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so these are that like nobody ever gave me game on this type of thing, but I felt like God had just started to wake me up. Like, hey, brother, listen, it's good that you haven't popped off yet, because you could have got robbed for a lot of money.
Right.
Robbed for a lot of bread. You know what I'm saying? So financial literacy is everything. Create your LLC, create your S Corp, anything that you're doing, you're either providing a product or a service. And even if, everybody should have an LLC just for the tax benefits, so yeah, that's, I wanted to wise up with that so that I can leave assets to my child, not liabilities and not bills.
Yes. Well, you were talking about leaving assets and things. Let's talk about legacy a little bit, right? Transitioning a little bit here. When we think of legacy, we want to ensure that we're making an impact for generations to come. So, what do you want your legacy to be?
Man, I want my legacy to be pushing the world, very specifically my culture forward. Like I'm a product of my culture. You know what I'm saying? I'm the son of my culture. So my job is to represent us well. My job is to storytell and put out images and give my best to what I got to give. And I want to be remembered for making people laugh, making people smile, making people sad if I have to. I want to make people feel, feel. We're in a world where nobody's feeling anything anymore. Only thing they feeling is a screen on the end of their finger. That's it. No one's feeling anything except anxiety. So,
right.
You know what I mean? So I want to be, I want to be that Renaissance, that James Baldwin, that Maya Angelou, that whatever I got best in me to portray a role or whatever it is to give to my people. Like Lorenz Tate, how he gave us Love Jones and his performance in that.
Yes.
And, like certain things make us feel a certain way. They're like a stamp in time in our childhood. And I remember in Living Color, like it's meant so much to me. Keenan Ivory Wayans,
yes,
shows like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Family Matters, 227, you know what I mean? Sanford and Son, all these different artists. And I'm like, man, I just hope to give to them, to my generation and forward, helping people escape their day a little bit. So you get a laugh from me and possibly some type of, oh, that's actually true. Some type of moment. I always try to give a nugget of like, wow, okay, I can take that, even if it's subtle, So I just hope to be remembered for, to be a man that stood for his people, black, white, yellow, gray. Yeah, I want to be remembered in that type of regard, for sure.
Love it. Love it. So we may have some aspiring artists and performers in the audience. What advice would you give them as they continue to pursue their dreams?
Start where you are. Don't wait. Don't wait. Whatever is around you, utilize it. If you're a cook and all you got is a spatula and some bread, you better be making some toast.
Hello. Yes.
It better be the best toast you can ever make, because if people see you pushing a car up the road, most of the time people will stop and help you.
Yeah.
But most of the time, if you just sit by the car and try to wave people down to help you, they're not going to help you because you're not moving it.
Right.
So you got to start where you are and move the needle. So for that, if you're an actor, take your phone out and get to acting. Figure out what you do in your realm that you can have for your camera phone. And if you don't know how to edit, go on YouTube, watch a few videos, watch 100 videos, get a free app. You can do it. I have a goddaughter. She's 10 years old. She already knows how to edit on CapCut, and she's already got her YouTube channel, and she's uploading. And I didn't teach her how to do it.
Yes. I love it.
So yeah, don't wait for a handout. You have to really, really just start where you are and look around. For example, I was an actor. I wasn't a cameraman, but I had a friend who was a cameraman. He don't have nothing to shoot. Hey, let's link up.
Yep.
Network across. Don't always try to reach up like Issa Rae, said one time. People always trying to reach up, but start where you are.
Yeah.
I'm in the 757. I started here. That got me to LA. I came back from LA. I'm still filming in the 757.
Yes.
So you can definitely, if you want it, want, you got to be hungry about this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what's next for you? What are your plans for the future?
What's next for me? What's next for me is bringing you more episodes of Hump Day Romance, where I mix relationship advice with my personal perspective and, just funny content, but also things that you can, I always try to leave you with a nugget. So more producing, more writing, more acting, not just in Hump Day Romance, but collaborating with my friends on the internet that y'all particularly like. A lot of friends, like I love being on other platforms and being exposed to other audiences.
Yeah.
The Live Your Dreams, Not Your Reality brand is here. So you can go to all my social medias, Top Rope Zeus, and you can see it and purchase it. And voiceovers. I want to be in movies. So outside of the internet, I want y'all to be able to see me on that big screen more. Really, really, really so. And I also voice. I want to be like, how like Lion King, I always wanted to be like a narrator, like an animated character sort of thing.
Yes.
So the voiceovers is something that I really, really love and really take seriously. It's a hard game to really, really get into, but it's only because you have to really practice your skill set.
Yeah.
And I just became, actually a voiceover win that just happened for me. Of course, I was a voice narrator on the ID channel for 2 shows. One of them is Homicide Cities, Philadelphia. And the other spin-off of that show called Homicide Cities, Charlotte. And for both of those. But after I booked that, which was the very first thing that I ever booked, after I booked that, I hadn't booked anything else. So for like the past 3 or 4 years, I've been auditioning and ain't booked. So just to let you know how you gotta have that dog in you if you really want this. But I just booked my my next voiceover, which I'm the voice of Jackie Robinson for his museum exhibit that's in Manhattan, New York, coming up this summer. So you'll hear my voice as Jackie, and I just thought that was very, very dope. I'm very proud of that. So
that is amazing. What do you know what museum it is?
Not just they didn't tell me the name of it, but if you type in Jackie Robinson Museum, New York, Manhattan, it should pop right up.
It'll pop up. That's absolutely amazing. Well, good luck to you in all your future endeavors. I have to shout out First Fam. This is my fraternity brother.
right. That's right.
Alpha
That's
Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Shout out to the Divine Nine. Our producer is brother of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, as well as our treasurer, who is also a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity. So shout out to the Divine Nine and First Fam. I just had to throw that in there.
Absolutely.
So I like to end all of our masterpiece artist series with a statement. So I'm going to say something and I want you to repeat after me and finish it. So I am a masterpiece because.
I am a masterpiece because I'm created in the image of God. You know, I am me as well as, you know, other brothers and sisters out there. We are his reflection in a physical form. So I'm a masterpiece because my mother gave me more love than a mother could ever give to a son. I mean, I'm so grateful for my mother, man. You know, I'm so grateful for her, and I'm so grateful for my dad that stepped in as well. But I feel like I'm a masterpiece because of the way God created me to be.
Yes.
And you know, without him, I'm nothing, man. And I just really love people. And I think being a masterpiece is learning how to master yourself. It's not being perfect. It's not being perfect, but yeah, I'm grateful for this space. I really, really am. You know, I think you're a masterpiece, but you never stop working on yourself. So I'm a forever person who will continue to evolve and grow in so many different spaces. But yeah, I'm a masterpiece because I'm created in his image. And he told me, you know, hey, you are enough. So I employ that to anybody else. You are a masterpiece for that same reason. Pour into yourself. And for my people out there who have 9-to-5s that have dreams that are maybe outside of that 9-to-5, remember this. You can working on a job will pay, you know, will make you, working on a job will, it's a quote that I heard today and I'm about to butcher it, but the basic consensus of it is working on a job, you will pay the bills. But working on your, there you go. Working on a job, you will you'll make a paycheck. But working on yourself, you'll make a fortune. So of us, you know, like a lot of us need to really, really, really put less work into that job and more work into ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yes. Awesome. Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed our conversation this evening. Thank you so much for joining us and dropping so many gems and nuggets for us to pick up and take throughout our life's journey. Thank you to our audience who have joined us. We do have time for a few questions, and we absolutely have those in the audience. So I think the first question that I see right here is, how did Zeus get into voiceover work? And did he get an agent or seek that out himself?
Great question. Great question. So how I did voiceover work was voiceover work you can get into in many different ways. The way that I got into it was I had a manager out in LA and I said, hey, I want to get into voiceover. She said, well, I know a couple agents that we can send a demo to. Do you have a demo? I said, no, I don't. I got on my phone, I created a demo, edited it up, and then I sent it to the people and they said they want to see you. And I went in and they liked my voice and the deep tone of that. And they said, well, come in and audition for us, you know, to be on our roster. I did it. It was for a show that it was like a crime show. And they said, okay, great audition. And they called me and said, hey, you got it. I'm like, oh man, I'm on their roster. Great. When do I start auditioning? They're like, no. What you auditioned for? What you auditioned
you
for?
Got it.
Real. You got the job. So that's how I got that. Now, if you don't have an agent, you can go on sites like Actors Access and Casting Network, and you can submit yourself for voiceover work. You can buy a $200, $300 microphone in your home if you have a laptop, and you can record and edit yourself. You can learn how to edit free software on YouTube. And it's even AI, artificial intelligence right now where it's a beta mode. So if you have Adobe Premiere, for all my editors, if you have Adobe Premiere, there's an Adobe Premiere beta where you can clean up your voiceovers, and you can make it sound like you're in a professional booth. And you
Wow, that's awesome.
The cheat code that you can use if you're in a loud space, record yourself. I've recorded myself on GarageBand before. I've recorded myself on voicemails on my phone. Go to Beta, Adobe Premiere, and you can just drop your dirty audio. It's gonna make it sound like you're in a professional booth. Send that to your audition. So that's a way to audition. You can also get locally with agents and say, hey, I have an audition reel. I just did some different styles of my voice. You can put yourself in like that. So that's how I would employ people to do it if you want to start like right now.
Awesome. Awesome. Shout out to Tanya for that great question. Our next question comes from Tracy. Who or what inspires you? And who is the dream actor or actress that you would want to work with?
That's a really good question.
And I see Tracy's my Sora as well. Sorry.
Shout out to the Sora.
Yes.
A dream actress or actor I would like to work with and who inspires me. So who inspires me? You know, the women in my family really inspire me because I understand that I'm a generation changer for my family. So my daughter inspires me. She's 6 years old. My mother inspires me because, you know, I step on her shoulders so many days that she went to work, she went to school, and just to support and love me and just so she really inspires me in so many ways. My sister that passed away in 2020, my oldest sister, she's the one that got me into comedy and things like that. So she was like my first audience. My niece, who also passed away about a year ago, she was one of my biggest supporters and one of the funniest people that I've ever met. So those women in my family really, really, really inspire me. As far as an actor or an actress I would love to work with, man, it's so many. So many. But one of those people I would love to just be around is people like Samuel L. Jackson. I really love that brother. Robert Townsend, who was like my hero. He did so many things that I love to watch. Keenan Ivory Wayans. Viola Davis is beautiful in every way. I love how she approaches her roles. Loretta Devine. I want her to play my mother. I love Loretta Devine. I want her to play my mother. So yeah, these are some of the just amazing people that I watch on the screen, and I love to see. Eddie Murphy, but and the great Dave Chappelle. I would love to just be in a scene with that brother and have comedic energy and improv with him. So yeah, these are some of the people that I love and look up with. If Maya Angelou was still alive, I'd wipe all that. You just put me with Maya.
Just put me with Maya.
You know, but yeah, those are some of my really people that I really aspire to for sure.
Awesome. Well, I think those are all of our questions for this evening. We got some great comments. Thank you to our audience staying engaged with us. I'm just going to read a couple of them. Let's grind. Speak it into existence, fam. Representing deep. Best wishes on all your goals. And I like this one, pushing a car. Perfect example of keeping it moving. So once again, Zeus, just thank you so much for joining us this evening. This has been an amazing, phenomenal conversation this evening. And we truly thank you for sharing your time, your talent, and your treasure with us this evening. And giving us a little bit of your career journey and letting us know where you're going. You have friends and family in the Virginia African American Cultural Center. We'll definitely have to link up and do some more things in the future. But thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you very much for having me. And a special shout out to Dr. Hammond Ross, who made all this possible. She's been amazing. So much love to you guys over there. And I can't wait to come over and, maybe teach a virtual, workshop or something, content creator where, we can make it free to the public and we can come in and, really give some hands on a little bit more in depth. I would love to do something like that. So thank you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you. Awesome. Let's give Zeus Top Rope, Zeus Campbell, another virtual round of applause. Thank you once again to all of our sponsors, Commission, as well as our board of directors. We have a strong working board, y'all. So definitely want to thank our board of directors for their dedication and their commitment in serving the Virginia African American Cultural Center. Shout out to our treasurer, Kelvin Arthur, who did our membership call to action today. Make sure, if you're not doing so already, follow us on all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram. We're also on LinkedIn, YouTube. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. Consider becoming a member. We mentioned the various different membership levels. All of the proceeds go to continuing to ensure that we're able to do programs and events like this while we continue on our journey to opening. Stay tuned for more programs and events that are coming. Make sure that you support us for our golf tournament on July 20th. July 20th is our second annual golf tournament. We're looking for golfers. We're still looking for sponsors. So make sure you check us out at our website, www.vaaccvb.org. And then stay tuned for our September Virtual Artist Masterpiece Series kickoff, which will be Thursday, September 21st. And before we leave, we do have a survey. I think we have a QR code and a link that we'll throw up on the screen. Please consider filling out that survey. That is how we continue to improve our programs. That is how we continue to make sure that what we're bringing to you is something that is impactful and really able to assess what we're doing. So once again, thank you all for joining us. Stay tuned for more of what we got going on our activities, for our activities on our site. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.